Hi everyone, Selena here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, and thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to be using Model 1's long coffin nail tips, full length nail tips, and I'm actually going to be reshaping them into stilettos. So when reshaping a nail, you want to make sure you're going back and forth from one side to the other. And I noticed when I was editing the video, I was spending too much time on one side compared to the other during some of the filing. So you want to try to pay attention to that. You want to make sure you're going from one side to the other, back and forth. If not, you're going to have your shape lopsided when you're filing. So you want to go back and forth, and that way you keep your shape evened out. So I'm going to file this coffin shape into a stiletto, and at the end of this I'm going to show you the shape of the stiletto I put into it, and then I'm going to show you the actual coffin shape that the actual nail's in beside it, so you can see the difference. So I'll let you watch the rest of this, and I'll be back momentarily. So here we have the stiletto shape that I have put the coffin nail into, and this is the coffin nail next to it that it was in. So we're going to go ahead and take the shine off it. I'm using my e-file. I believe it is at approximately 8 RPMs, give or take 1,000. You don't need it that high when it's just taking the shine off. You're not bulking anything off, so you don't need it up in double numbers. You just want to take that shine off. So last video, in this video, I'm using a 240 mandrel band, and since I'm using a finer band, I've opted out of using base coat. When I use a 180 band, that's when I decide to use a base coat, because I find it's too gritty, and that's when the polish will go over the nail easier. However, with a 240 band, I find it's actually pretty good without a base coat. So I'm just going to finish up here and take the rest of the shine off with my electric nail file. And here I'm going to show you can also do it with a hand file if you don't own an e-file. That's not a problem. You can also do it with a hand file. Now this is a 100/180 grit hand file, and I'm using the 180 grit side. So if you don't have an electric nail file, that's not a big deal. Just go ahead and use a file, and that will just do the exact same thing. You'll get the exact same thing happen at the end. You'll get the exact same result. As you can see, we have the same result as we received with the e-file. So by all means, you can use either or. You could even use a buffer if you so choose to. I never thought to show you that as well. That's not a problem. So I went ahead and did all the nails, dusted them off, and made sure they were ready to go. Here I'm using the set Shimmering Seashells from Model 1s, and I'm only using 3 of the polishes out of 5, or 6, sorry. And this first one I'm using here is number 2379. And when I do this type of polish where you can put designs into the polish itself, I like to put a coat of it down first. And that's so when I put the design into the polish, when I'm using my tool to do so, my nail tool, you won't see through it. I find when you put a first coat on and you start doing that design, you can see through in some areas. So I prefer to put a full coat on like this, then cure it, then do the second coat and do the patterning. Then cure after this pattern is done on the second coat. And that's the same with anything with a pattern. So I've cured, and here I'm doing a second coat before I move on with the pattern. I just want to make sure I get the full nail. And I find most people do swirls. I'm actually going to put waves into my nail. I want it to look like there's waves from the ocean or the sea. So that's what I have decided to do with all my nails. They're all going to have waves in them. go. So we've got some waves done. I'm just going to go in and add a little bit of stuff where I think it needs, or fix it up wherever I think it needs fixing. So I've moved on to the pinky nail, and this one here, this is shade number 2381, and this is the second coat that I'm putting on it. So I'm going to put the second coat on and do the wave pattern on this. The other three nails are going to get an ombre, or the other two nails, there's two nails that are going to get an ombre. So I'm going to do 3 nails solid and 2 ombres. Thought I should bring it down a little closer. Pretty far away. Now I use the smaller side of my dotting tool. I figured that would be better on the pinky fingernail, especially since it's much smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and do the wave pattern on this, and then I'm going to go in between and add any more that I think it might need, do any fixing up it might need, or what I would like to add. So even though I'm doing a wave pattern on all of them, there's not one that looks exactly the same as the other. They all look a little different. So this one here is going to be a solid as well. I didn't show painting it. I kept this part in just to show you though, this brush came out wonky and this polish was really thick. So I just wanted to show how I dealt with this brush. I did clean it off when I first got these polishes. I cleaned it off really well, and I used boiling water afterwards, and it came out pretty straight. It looked almost new, and then it went back almost to the way it was. So here I'm just showing you how I was able to get it out, and I'm using a replacement brush that I have. I bought a package of them, and I've decided to replace the brush in it. And you can get these replacement brushes on any of those websites such as Wish, AliExpress, Shein, Amazon, Temu, any of those places. And here I am using the Nail Couture, their new gel polish thinner. This is amazing. This, I used 6 drops in this one. This one was really thick. And I gave it a really good shake. And it came out really well, even after sitting for a few minutes. It even continued working a little bit more. And it worked even better later on. Like, it still looks a bit thick here, but it's even a little bit later, it works even better. This stuff worked really well. So again, that's gel thinner from Nail Couture. So here I'm moving on to the ombre nails. I did the first coat. I did not bother in ombreing it in because I'm going to do a second coat with the wave pattern. So I'm going to go ahead. I am using the 2392, which is the light color on the bottom. And on the top of this one, I am using 2381. Oh, no, I lied. That's the lighter purple. So that would be 2379. Sorry. So that's the lighter purple on this one. And instead of ombreing it normally, I decided just to do the ombre with the waves. I thought I'll just go in and do a wave pattern on it and hope for the best. And it worked quite well. I just had to do it a couple of times, not a big deal. So again, on the bottom is number 2392, and the purple on the top is 2379. I do speed some of this up, as you saw, as we go through. So this is the darker purple. So this is the same light color on the bottom, 2392, and the darker purple on top is 2381. And I did the exact same on this as I did on the other ombre when it came to blending it in. Figured I'd speed that part up. I don't think you want to watch the same motion over and over again. There we go. So that's all done. I'm going to take a wipe and wipe off all of the sticky layer because we're going to go in with some stickers, and if you leave the tacky layer on, they're not going to stick. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Hit that like button and that notification bell. That way you're notified every time I upload a video. Share my videos. Let's help get me to 500 subscribers by Christmas. That would be greatly appreciated. here we're just putting a seahorse on the ring finger. So I'm just going to go ahead and do some stickers. I'll let you watch and play some music, and I'll pop in momentarily. I'm also going to use some charms on here and some shell pieces. I'm going to use some regular shell pieces and some abalone shell pieces as well. Now I should have went through, normally I end up doing a top coat before putting anything else on. This time I didn't, and I needed to, of course. However, the show must go on. So I put on a mermaid tail on the bottom of the thumb here. And I'm going to put a fish on the cuticle area, close to the cuticle area on this one. Here I'm adding some bubbles to my pinky nail. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the charm glue. I'm also going to add some shells to this. I don't show you guys everything I put on the nails. I didn't want it to be a really long video, and I do have pictures at the end, as always, so you can see how they turned out. So here I've decided to add a turtle at the tip of this nail. And I'm going to put, as you can see, I'm going to put a starfish sticker on the side here. And it kind of blends in a bit, but they're closer to the cuticle. That's a seashell that I have put on there. It's a pink one. I probably should have put that towards the middle more. It's very close to the color of the bottom of the nail there. So moving on to the other ombre nail. Add some things to this. And this is going to be my shell nail. It's going to be all shells. Stickers and the actual shell itself I'm going to put around the edge of it. So I'm doing a matte finish on the nails. So I'm going over everything except for, say, the pearls and the shells. I'm trying to stay away from the pearls and the shells and the water drops that I put on. The bubbles, we'll say. I'm trying to go around those three things. In the end, I'm actually going to put glossy top coat on those other things. And even though I'm covering the stickers with this matte coat right now, I'm also going to go back and do glossy over the stickers as well. I just want the nail itself in a matte color, in a matte coating, sorry. And then I want everything else in glossy. So here I'm trying to go around the shells a little bit. Kind of working, kind of not. So as you can see here, this is all matte. So before I did all of the nails, I was having a look at this one to see how it looked. And I was thinking about it. And that's when I decided the glossy over those other items. So this is the glossy coat, top coat. So I'm going to put some out on my palette here. And I'm going to use a short liner brush. And I'm going to go over, like I said, the stickers and the bubbles and any of the 3D items, such as the pearl, or any of the pearl pieces, charms, things like that. And I flash cure in between, just in case, because we all know how accident prone I am. And this one is where I'm moving on to doing the glossy coat on all those little pieces on the other nail and the stickers. Using the brush from the top coat, glossy top coat, to go over the bigger charms. I figure it'd just be easier and quicker. Other than flash curing in between a lot of stuff, I also did a full cure after everything for 60 seconds, just to let everyone know. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. There's still over 85% who are watching my videos who are not subscribed. Don't forget to check out my other videos and take a look at the pictures at the end. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!